I was planning my wedding after proposing to my fiancé, but things took a strange turn when she suggested involving an old crush in an unexpected way. As I uncovered secrets that left me questioning everything I thought I knew. This is a story of confusion, betrayal, and emotional turmoil, a journey that left me questioning the very foundation of my relationship. I'm 24 years old, and until recently, I thought I had my life all figured out. I had just proposed to my ex-fiancée, a 23-year-old woman I had been dating for 2 years. We met through mutual friends at work, hit it off immediately, and by New Year's Eve, we were officially a couple. In the beginning, everything seemed perfect. We shared laughs, dreams, and even talked about our future together. But there was always this shadow lurking around. Marvin. From the moment we started dating, she mentioned Marvin, a guy who apparently had a long-standing crush on her. He would message her, pleading with her to leave me and give him a chance. We both laughed about how pathetic he was, with her saying she despised him for even suggesting such a thing. I mean, who wouldn't feel secure when your partner openly mocks the advances of another? Looking back, maybe I should have paid more attention. Fast forward 2 years, and we're engaged. New Year's Eve, under the stars, I proposed, and she said yes in front of her family. It felt like the happiest moment of my life. I immediately started planning venues, catering, decorations. I poured my savings into making the wedding of her dreams come true. Her parents couldn't help financially, but I didn't care. I loved her, and I wanted to build a life with her. But then, things took a strange turn. One day, while we were out running errands, we started talking about trying new things in our relationship, specifically a threesome. We were young, curious, and open-minded, so I figured, why not discuss it? She immediately jumped in with, I have someone in mind. I wasn't expecting that. When I asked who, she said Marvin. My heart skipped a beat, and all the laughter we once shared about him being pathetic seemed to echo in my mind. Red flag. A big one. But I brushed it off. Maybe it was just a fantasy, right? People have all sorts of weird thoughts, and as long as we communicated, we'd be fine. I asked her why Marvin, of all people. She simply shrugged, saying she was physically attracted to him. It felt like a punch in the gut. How do you process something like that? The guy she once despised, she now wanted to bring into our relationship? I was confused, but I didn't explode. I said we needed to talk, set some ground rules, and that I'd need to meet Marvin before anything happened. She agreed, but something inside me still felt off. Over the next few days, she grew more and more excited about the idea. Every conversation seemed to drift toward Marvin, how fun it would be, where we could meet, which hotel we could stay at. It was suffocating. I kept trying to slow her down, reminding her that this wasn't just some casual decision. Eventually, I had to put my foot down, telling her that if she didn't stop obsessing over it, there would be no threesome at all. She apologized, but I could tell her mind was elsewhere. That's when everything unraveled. One afternoon, while she was napping, I made a decision that I'm not proud of. I went through her phone. What I found shattered me. She had been cheating on me with Marvin for months. The texts were explicit, detailing their meetups while I was at work. She had even sent him naughty tests to see if his conks matched hers. I sat there, staring at the screen, feeling my heart sink into an abyss. She woke up to find me sitting next to her with her phone in hand. I confronted her, and she broke down, crying, claiming she didn't know what she was doing, that it was all a mistake. But there was no mistake. She had been lying to my face for months. I packed my things and left. That night, her parents called, accusing me of ruining the engagement, blaming me for bringing up the idea of a threesome in the first place. It was as if the entire world had flipped upside down. I canceled everything, the wedding, the plans, the dream. My phone was flooded with texts from her family, calling me childish, telling me to man up and fix things. But how could I? How could I possibly move forward with someone who had betrayed me like that? Update 1 later, I met with my former father-in-law to explain my side of the story. I showed him the messages between his daughter and Marvin. He was shocked. Apparently, she had told him a completely different story. According to her, I had snapped when she suggested Marvin, and that's why I was calling off the engagement. She conveniently left out the part where she had been cheating on me. Update 2. What happened next was surreal. When we arrived at their house to return her things, there sat Marvin, comfortably in the living room, with my ex in tears beside him. Her mother looked at me with disdain, as if I was the villain in this twisted drama. My father-in-law demanded that Marvin show him the texts between him and my ex. Of course, Marvin resisted, but after some pressure, he bolted out of the house, leaving everything out in the open. My ex was left sobbing as her parents unleashed their anger on her. For the first time, they saw her for who she really was, a liar and a cheat. They threw her out of their house, apologizing to me profusely, but at that point, it didn't matter. The damage was done. I returned home that night feeling hollow. The adrenaline had worn off, leaving behind a void. I blocked her number, posted the screenshots of their conversations online so she couldn't twist the story, and then I made plans to leave. I got an STD test, thankfully I was clean, and I'll be selling the engagement ring to recoup some of the money I lost. Through all of this, I've learned a painful lesson about trust, betrayal, and self-respect. I'll move on, but this experience will always remind me to listen to my gut and never ignore the red flags. And that's where things stand. What would you have done if you were in my shoes? Sometimes, the truth reveals itself in ways you never expect. Drop your thoughts in the comments because I'm still trying to make sense of it all. Thanks for sticking with me through this. Sometimes, the hardest part isn't finding out the truth, it's deciding what to do once you know it. See you in the next story.